Good day, everyone. My name is Coolpilot, and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Mishaps. Now, I know that I said that in this episode, once again, that we would start looking at some tech. However, I have, upon you actually looking at the mods, because I hadn't really looked in depth at what the tech mods were, there's not really much to do right now. There are basically two main tech mods. There's a little bit here and there from other mods like Open Blocks and what was one of the other ones? It's like Redstone Arsenal has kind of techie stuff, I guess. Yeah, it uses RF, so yeah, that's technically tech stuff. So it's a little bits and pieces from other mods, but the main two is Mine Factory Reloaded and making sure I'm remembering the name right, Thermal Expansion, right? So those are the two main tech mods in UHS 3. The little thing about both of those is that they have some really useful stuff, but they aren't very useful to us right now. Mine Factory Reloaded will be great for like building farms and mob traps and the like, but we only have like a small farm in here, which I have worked on in between episodes, of course, the magic farm stuff. The magic farm stuff also doesn't really work with, as far as I know, it doesn't really work with Mine Factory Reloaded stuff, so it doesn't even matter. I have worked on some stuff in here. But the things we would kind of like use them for in here might be like for the mob room, or not really the mob room, but they're technically mobs, but they're peaceful mobs. The pen basically for the sheep and the cows and the chickens and all that. But I don't really know if I'd care to even bother using them here. It's going to be a relatively small space. It's going to basically take up... it's relatively large, relatively small, kind of depending on the way you look at it. But it's more just wanting to have a nice peaceful area for the guys to roam, just breed them up, kill any as I need them, shear wool as I need it. Because I'm not really going to need all that much of that sort of stuff here, at least. So I don't really need, wrong button. I don't really need a lot of the stuff here in the bunker and like the stuff for making better farms. Of course, like things like the rancher and that, are used for the mobs, things like fertilizer and planter, that sort of stuff used for making, normal farms. But again, doesn't really work with magic crops, and I don't really need it otherwise. I mean, heck, I've got berries to eat and bays. So, yeah, I just don't really need anything from here. There might be like bits and pieces I might try to make for the base, but not really much there to deal with. Now, the other one is Tinker's, right? No, not Tinker's, Thermal. Yeah, I keep mixing Thermal Expansion up with Tinker's because it will start with T. Not a very good excuse for mixing them up. Thermal. There we go. And Thermal Expansion. The Thermal Expansion has a lot more useful stuff in it, in terms of the bunker here. Other bases, again, might have some of that tech stuff, Mine Factory Reloaded, but not this base, or at least not much of it, just because I don't need it much here in this particular base and what I want out of this base. So this stuff from Thermal Expansion, there is some useful things. Obviously, one of the main ones is like power generation. So you got the portable tanks, which are useful. Autonomous activators, terrain smasher, and nullify. I don't know what these two do. I'm guessing this one breaks blocks. I have no idea what nullifier does. But a lot of this stuff can be very, very useful. The machines in particular, there aren't a lot of them, unfortunately. And the power generation, obviously, you need it to really run any machines. But there's not really a lot of machines to run in Thermal Expansion. Surprising, because I thought there had been more, but not too many. There are, the strong boxes I don't really care for, but there's very useful things like rock wool, which is a type of wool that won't burn. So that's useful. If different types of other metals and stuff that could be used to make things from other mods, like jetpacks, for instance. And we'll need stuff from this mod in order to make jetpacks. And jetpacks will be one of the things you'll want at some point, but not right now, so I'm not too concerned about going towards that right at the moment. A redstone furnace, obviously useful, to replace normal furnaces, so you don't have to worry about getting coal out every single time. You just make sure you have some power saved up. You want like an energy cell or something. But not too important for us right now because I'm not smelting a hell of a lot. Well, I don't really need to smelt a lot. Pulverizer, not really important at all because we can get 2-to-1 ingots out from ore with the smeltery already. We already have something that can do that. So we don't really need much out of this. We don't need slag or anything from... Oh, where is it? It's the induction smelter. We don't need slag or anything like that right now, at least. Although that sort of stuff can allow you to get 3-to-1 out of ore. I just don't really need it right at this point. I'm not needing huge amounts of resources yet. I have, of course, been trying to build up a bit of a supply of resources, but I don't need a huge amount right now. I don't need to worry about slag at all. And even with slag, I don't know if I'm ever going to use it much. If I do want a lot of resources, just because it's a bit of a pain setting up that sort of stuff. Sawmill is actually quite useful. It allows you to get 6 planks out of a single log, so that's incredibly useful, especially for building. But it's not something I need right frickin' away. Not something I need now and must have it now. It's nice to have, certainly, especially for building this stuff. Having to use not only planks for these stairs, but then use carpenter's stairs, which is an additional cost of wood. But it's going to be a while before we can even do much of this. Obviously, we still have to figure out what to do with the roof. Just haven't had time. But we don't have any more limestone, so we can't even expand this anyways. I need to find more limestone before I can do any of that. So I might think of building a sawmill in here later on, but not super critical. Otherwise, you got magma crucible, which I don't even remember what that does. So I think it can turn some blocks into lava, but lava's not all that hard to get. Glacial precipitator can turn things to snow and ice, I think. Not too important, especially since we got a snow biome nearby. Igneous extruder, I don't even remember what that does. Aqueous accumulator can make water, but we have infinite water sources, so not too important. And cyclic assembler, I don't know what that does either. There's a few things. There are several things I still have to look up, more information about. But there's useful stuff in here, but nothing I really need right away. And this stuff, costs a lot of resources to make, and you have to set everything up. It's just a bit of a pain. It is just not really worth it at this point. So I think I am actually going to wait to do much in the way of tech. It's just a better idea rather than waste our resources on something we don't quite need yet. Now, here in the farm, I have done quite a bit of work in between episodes. Before actually discussing too much about all this stuff, I should actually mention that I am a giant dirt face. I did not need to make these extra infusion stones because I realized I needed to create a strong infusion stone in order to make the lapis seeds. And I realized that you get back your infusion stones when you make the next level up of infusion stone. Although that does still raise the question of why I only have one each of these, because I made 2 extra weak infusion stones and upgraded one of them to regular, and yet I only have 1 extra. I don't know. But when I put the regular infusion stone in and upgraded it to strong, it gave me my regular back as well as the strong. It could possibly just be a bug with this Tinker's Construct crafting table. I haven't actually tried doing an upgrade from a normal crafting table yet. That is something I'll try when I go to make the next upgrade on the stone. But I have a feeling that it's probably that you just get the back, and I might have lost one somehow. So it seems that I wasted a couple diamonds on these things, which just kind of sucks. But oh well. As for what I've done in this room, I did end up creating that watering can, and Of course, it doesn't give me the recipe, but let me just type it in. Water, yeah. There we go. So this recipe on the bottom you cannot do. This is peaceful only. It doesn't tell you here, but when you punch this recipe into the crafting table, it will tell you, when you mouse over the water can, it will tell you peaceful only. If you try to take it out, it won't let you unless you are in peaceful mode. Which reminds me, I was in peaceful mode because I was on my test world, checking out some stuff for building. I forgot to turn back to hard. Good thing I was already at full hearts and full hunger, so it doesn't matter too much. And it's been just now turning night, so it didn't really matter until now. I caught it early enough, thankfully. There we go. And back to normal. All right. So, what was I thinking? Right. So yeah, this bottom recipe, peaceful only. You can only do it while you're in peaceful mode. The top one is the one you have to do normally. You put with the bone meal in. I was at least able to scan the bone meal and the bowl actually for Thaumcraft, and I think you can't scan the watering can. But once you get the watering can, you just right-click it on some water, and then just right-click it on the ground to sprinkle some water in a 3x3 area, and this will grow basically help any crop grow faster. Magical crops you can't grow with bone meal or some other things, but there's a sigil in what is it, blood alchemy? I think it is. Let's look at just sigil. How the hell do you spell sigil? I forget. Oh, I thought there was a Y in there. Apparently not. Yeah, blood magic, alchemical wizardry, sigil of the green grove will help it grow, but obviously that's a ways away, and it takes blood magic. But this simple little water can, you just sprinkle around, it will help any crop to grow, because bone meal won't work on this as well as most machines. And that's also why I've added extra water and earth elemental here, crop here, and stuck my dye crop over here, so I can just sprinkle it on a nice little 9x9 area and watch it grow super fast. It is incredibly useful. It even works on ender lily seeds. I've helped these guys grow the ones that were still here grow just a tiny bit faster by sprinkling some water on it. Still incredibly low chance of it growing, but it does help speed it up a bit. Let's see if we can get these last two ones to finish maturing while we're here, just so we can pop out all of these guys. Don't really need to do it right on top of it, but I just feel like it. There we go. And get all the seeds and just replant them while we're here. Same with the water and with the earth. And of course, we got a bunch of more essence crop here. I actually have one more essence seed that I haven't planted just because it didn't line up with everything, which would have been slightly off. So I haven't planted that one, but yeah, I had a ton more essence crops, so I've been able to get essence more quickly. Still got my ender lily seeds over there, which I'm actually going to end up moving over here at some point, and then move some of these other crops over here. And we got a few more redstone crop, a few more obsidian crop, and we got our first lapis lazuli crop, which grows fairly slowly and hasn't actually given me any essence yet, stronger essence from it. But it is nice to finally have, so we can start growing some lapis. And you see, already got 15 of the lapis essence. And we got quite a bit of the redstone essence and decent amount of obsidian essence, some of which I've already used up. And tons of nature essence from all of these guys. So that's coming on along quite well, growing our resources. Haven't really done anything anywhere else though, so we are going to go to the actual item of the day, which is, well, since we can't really do, we can do tech, but since I don't really want to do any tech yet, because it just isn't too useful for us right now, we are going to do some magic instead. because magic is awesome. So there are a few things that I will need to, well, a few things that I want and a few things that I'll need to continue advancing in Thaumcraft, and a few things I just want to research for the hell of seeing what they are, because I don't know much about them, or just to unlock some other things. First things first, I want to have goggles of revealing. We need to have research notes. Ooh, let us get our scribing tools. We'll need a piece of paper. We've got 3 left. I think that's all we need. Yep, click. Now we have goggles of revealing. Research note. Put the scribing tools in. And we have to do our whole, research thing again. So we have to hook up Census with magic, and is that spirit? Aura, excuse me. Oh yeah, of course it's aura. It's revealing goggles. So let us go and look at our aspects. Where are you? Since is air and spiritus. Where is Aurum? Right at the beginning. Okay. Alphabetical order. Air and magic. So going through air seems to be the way to go. Since we got tons of it too. And it's a basic element. So air. What is magic made out of? We should probably have looked that up while we were in here. Vacuous and Potentia. Potentia is order and Ignis. Vacuous is over here. Air and Perdido. Okay, that works. So let's just hook up the airs first. Air. We'll need to hook up the magic to vacuous. Then air. And then something that's made out of air. Just something simple. Arbor. Yeah. We got tons of arbor. Just use that. And there we go. Goggles of revealing. And now we can actually look at them in here. Ooh. Has a little sparkly on it. Not entirely sure why. Unless it's just to point out new... No, it's not new. I'm not entirely sure what the sparkles are for. That is something I'm going to have to look up at some point. Goggles of revealing. It gives us a V discount. Couple gold. We're getting 2 thermometers. Really? Ugh. I have to make 2 more of those. And some leather. Building on the basic principles of the thermometer, you have begun refining its ability to detect magic into something more revealing. This set of mystical lenses will make your nose much easier to find along with revealing all manner of hidden things. They form an important tool in any thaumaturgist's arsenal. One of the things that Goggles of Revealing do, obviously aside from helping you see ore nodes a lot easier, so it'll help us hunt them down, is that it will, when you're making stuff in the crucible, it will show you what the aspects in the crucible are. So that's quite useful. And there might be some other things as well that it can do nowadays, but I'm not entirely sure. So we're going to need to make 2 more of these guys, which means we're going to need 2 normal glass. If we still have any of that stuff, it will be over here, the normal glass, that is. I thought that we had some extra. Well, we might have used them all already. I think we might have used them to make the glass bottles. And we have 1 left. But we're going to need to make some more. So let's get our piece of coal out. Then come back over here to these, well, not the smeltery, but to the furnace, right? This furnace right here. We have a full stack of sand, so we can just stick a coal in there, get some more glass. Now, does this require magic? I don't quite remember. No, it doesn't. But we're going to make it in here anyways. We're going to need 4 shards as well, something we have a lot of. Well, we have a lot of air and a lot of fire. Oh, we have a lot of entropy. So we'll use a couple of those. Oh, and gold. Right. We need gold too. Doop. Alright. So we can get 1, and then we need to grab this glass out and make another. Now for the actual goggles, we will also need 2 more pieces of gold and 4 leather. Where did the 2 pieces of gold go? Top and bottom, right? Top, bottom, and we'll need 4 pieces of leather. Now one of the other things you'll see on here is that you need a bit of aura in order to make these goggles. In fact, you need a bit of each aura type. You need 5 air, 5 ignis, 5 aqua, 5 terra, 3 perdido, and 3 ordo. And we don't have 3 of those. We don't have fire, water, or order. Well, yeah, those are the 3 we're missing. So we have 25 of air, earth, and perdido, but nothing of the others. So we're going to have to go find those in order to finish making this thing. We're also going to have to get some leather as well, which I don't think we have any left. Let's take a quick sleeper. Alright. So, come over here just to double check to see if we have any leather. Should have done that while I was over here, but forgot. It's looking like a no, because I think we got exactly enough to make our leather armor the first time. Or no, we didn't have leather armor. It was right to make our knapsack the first time. So I'll have to go out and kill a few cows. So that's alright. One thing, I'm probably going to actually make this at the beginning of the next episode, but when you put your wand in here, you put your wand in here in this little box in order to put the aspects in for the crafting. Obviously, we don't have everything we need, so it's not going to really show the aspects. It'll show them in these circles. It won't show them right now because we don't have everything we need to actually make the thing. But I'll leave this stuff in here for now. Actually, I'll leave my wand in here for now as well. We'll show the little wand on top of the crafting table, which is a neat little touch. So we can't actually make that quite yet, although I'll go looking at all these different aura nodes that we have marked around the place and try finding some more to get the aspects we need for that, and obviously kill the cows. And I'll do that in between episodes so we can actually make that next episode. But for now, we're going to continue doing a bit of research. Now up here, after these arcane stones, we have paving stone of warding and paving stone of travel available to us. These are, the types of research that you just purchase using aspects. Paving stone of travel says easing your journey with the, is that modus? It's the motion aspect, the first one you see there. I think it might be called modus, I'm not quite sure. I'm not the best at remembering the names, proper names of these things. This stone looks to be, it says paving stone travel looks to be a stone meant to make you run fast, which is useful, but not something we need right now. Paving stone of warding says keeping things out, though. That seems interesting. Now we need, I think that's a modus, actually. So I'm not sure what that first one over there is. The first one here, you'll see the white symbol blinking, the 5, needing 5. That means that we don't have that, or we don't have enough of that. In fact, we only have 4. So we need to make one. So air, aqua, yeah, and this one is indeed modus. So now we have 5. Iter is what that one is. Travel journey. This one's motion animation. So let's see what this paving stone warding is, because I have no idea what it does. So we'll just purchase it using that, 3 of that trap one, and 3 of the beast aspect. And I guess the sparkling is just to show it is new. Paving stone of warding. you have discovered a way of turning arcane stone bricks into mystical wards that prevent most creatures from crossing them. Should be noted that these wards aren't always 100% foolproof, and they cannot prevent other players from entering an area. Will keep most common threats at bay. They will also prevent golems from crossing them. That's useful to keep golems prescribed to a certain area. For best results, you need an unbroken line of them between the area where you wish to protect and the outside world. An active resisting will disable this block. Very interesting. That could be very, very useful. I'll have to think about making those at some point. There was some other things. Oh yes, hungry chest. 3 of that. What is that? Famous hunger. Right. So the hunger aspect and the vacuous aspect will get us hungry chest, which will unlock golemancy. So might as well unlock that. Hungry chest is basically a chest that eats up anything that's dropped nearby it. Kind of cute, but not all that important. And golems are, well, they're golems. They're basically little servants that can do various little tasks that you prescribe to them. That is something that we will want to be going into at some point. Golems are very useful for magic crop farms, as they can help you automate them a little bit better for when you're away. Obviously, the fastest way to grow magic crops is by sitting over it with a watering can or that sigil I pointed out. But when you're away or off doing other things, like when I'm working in here, that stuff's growing on their own, but we're not harvesting it as it's growing, so golems can do that automatically for you. And they can do it automatically even as you're sitting over it with the watering can. So they're very useful, not only for that, but a lot of different uses. So we will definitely be researching those at some point. Just not quite yet, because it's going to take a lot of stuff to research all of that. Not much we can, could look at some wand stuff, but I want wand folk guy, and you can't get that yet. And I don't need a more powerful wand for crafting quite yet either, so we don't really need to research anything here. I'll finish researching stuff in here off camera aside from that, because I don't need research duplication. But master node tapping, node preserver, I'll do on my own, because it's just more basic research. Now in here there are a few things that we can look at. Magic tallow I know can be used to make candles, which is kind of nice. Not sure if it will make anything else though. Magic metallurgy. That of course makes thaumium, which is... I'm not sure how useful that is. Thaumium? You can't actually... Oh yeah, it gives you the thaumic. Let's look in here. I remember thaumic being really good in Tinkers, but I don't remember what it does. Hopefully it is listed in here somewhere. I have no idea if it is or not. Reinforced. Flux. Additional modifiers. No, it does not list it in here, which is a shame. It might list it in here when we research it, although it might be under Thaumic Tinkering as well. Because Thaumic Tinkering is basically an expansion on the Tinker's construct that incorporates Thaumcraft into it. So we may need to research Thaumium before we can start looking into that. Alumentum isn't very useful at all. It makes explosions if you throw it and can be used as fuel. Not too useful, in my opinion. Nighthor, though, is also not all that useful, but it's a really cool block. I do quite enjoy it. So that might be a good one to research. Heck, it might be a good one to use for lighting in here instead of torches. It is quite cool. I think, though, we're going to start out with magical metallurgy. So let us get our scribing tools back out. Get research note for that. Pop it back in. And we need to go from... I don't even need to... I forgot I don't even need to open up Thaumcraft in order to look at the aspects, because we could just do it in here. Metallum to magic. So we have stone and ordo. And the stone is terra. So terra and ordo. And of course, magic is ordo and fire. Or air and perdido. So order is the way to go. So from magic to potentia to order. Not enough steps. Because there'd be magic, potentia, order, and then there's a blank spot. So we're going to have to do another one of those things where you use up an extra one just to get there. Kind of annoying. Unless we can find some other way to get to it. Let's look at other things that use order. Order fire. That's Cantio. Order humanus. Order healing. Order life. Which is earth and water. To go that from earth and water. That's still 4 steps. That's not a very good one to use. Or unless you go from the water. Oh no, because you need order in between them. So, still not useful. I'm not seeing much to go on, so I think I'll just do what I first thought of. Go potentia. And go, I could go like, go order, and then something that's made out of order that we have a lot of. Oh, metallum. Yeah, we have tons of metallum, so just use another metallum there. All right, that's good enough. Probably potentially more useful, more not useful, more efficient ways to do that, but that's good enough for us. So does it unlock anything in here? Yes, helmet of revealing. This is why I can't use Photoshop. I'm guessing this is so you can actually turn the goggles of revealing, which is not a piece of armor, into an actual piece of armor that also gives you the goggles of revealing, which is quite useful. That's the only thing I see here so far, though, which is interesting. Metals have proven to be quite easy to manipulate via thaumaturgical, God, that's hard to say, principles. Your first experiments have led to the discovery of thaumium. Thaumium is a result of infusing base metals with raw magical energy. The result is a metal harder than iron with the ability to accept enhancements beyond that which iron is normally capable of. Metals such as this has many applications in the crafting of more advanced thaumaturgical devices. It can also be used to craft tools, arms, and armor in a crafting table using the normal recipes. So you stick an iron ingot into a crucible that has 4 precantatio, 4 magic, basically, 4 magic aspect in it, and you'll create 1 thaumium ingot. In the difficult part of messing with crucibles, I'm just realizing it is nighttime, so we should get another sleep job on so it doesn't lag in here. The difficult thing about crucibles is that you got to get 4 magic aspect in there. But if you want to pump in items in there that have magic aspect in them, they'll generally also have other aspects. And the aspects that aren't used up in the crafting process will dissipate into the air. which is a bad thing. You don't want that because that will cause you problems. Or at least you don't want to do that too much because that will cause you problems. Of course, this stuff also degrades if you take too long, but that's what this item grate is for. That's why we built it. Very useful. It just dumps it all in there at once. And gives you the axe, thaumium sword, thaumium pick, thaumium shovel, thaumium hoe, and the thaumium armor set. Which is quite useful to have. Metal purification, metal transmutation come after that, it seems. Still don't know what you can do with it in terms of Tinker's Construct, but that might be something I'll have to research because it doesn't seem to be in here. One more thing I did want to actually research while we're here. Try to do this real quick because the episode's running a little bit long. Umbral Rose, save the squid. I had noticed in here. Just type it in. I noticed this a while ago when we were needing, not squid ink, but when we were needing the bits of the squid. God, what is it called? Ink sac. Yeah, we were needing ink sac for scribing tools. I had noticed this popped up in my journey to try and find something that I could use without having to dive down and kill a squid. And I believe this is basically, this shadow ink is basically can be used, in absolutely anything that you need that bit of squid for, including the scribing tools. So getting that will be quite useful. So let us get a research note. Pop it in here, see what we need to do. Oh, right. Get that in there. So we need to take up census with Herba and Tenebrae, darkness, which is vacuous and light. Vacuous is light in air in Perdito, and the light is air in fire. Herba is gradium and terra. If you can go from plant to order, go void to, no, not void to order. Yeah, it doesn't go to order at all. Gradium. Is there anything that is made out of Herba? Not sure if there is. Don't think there is. Doesn't look like it. But granium. Oh wait, arbor is made of. But that just goes to air. But that's actually useful. So herba to arbor to air. Tenebrae to either vacuous or light. We have more vacuous. And then to air. Then census. Basically straight to air. Doesn't we have to do an extra step there, aren't we? And this goes to Victus. And so does Herba through Granium. Goes to Victus. Is there any way that we can hook up Victus to Tenebrae? I don't think there is, but there is potential. Light or something. What else uses Victus? Sano. Spiritus. Which doesn't hook up at all. So Mortis. No. Just the case of things just not quite lining up for a perfect minimal usage of everything. Oh, FAMS. It is still not perfect, but you can go from Victus to FAMS to then vacuous. So let's try doing it that way, a little bit more original way, other than going through air again. So we'll go Granium. And where's the Victus? Victus. Since this is hooked up to that through Spiritus. And then we need... What did we need again? Oh yes, FAMS. And then Vacuous. There we go. Get a little bit more original with our research. Discover that. And that was also made in Crucible. You throw a Rose into 5 Darkness and 5 Victus. No sight more pathetic than a soggy thaumaturge. For all your great and miraculous power, you still have to go jump in the nearest lake and hunt for squids every time you want to refill your inkwell. You've done squid hunting. By infusing a rose with Tenebrae and Victus, you create a flower that spreads like a weed and whose petals can be crushed for ink. So apparently you can just plant it and it'll spread to other grass blocks around. That's useful. So we'll have to look into making that next time. And on the next episode, we will actually start crafting our first stuff in the Crucible, as well as make our Thaumaturge glasses once I get the necessary materials to do so. So that will be it for this episode, and I shall see you guys next time.